Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Bridges. I'm Vice President for Research and Member Engagement, and I welcome you to our annual UNCF Vice President for Research and Member Engagement, and I welcome you to our annual institute hosted by our Institute for Capacity Building, designed around realizing the promise of data for higher education success. I lead our UNCF's capacity building efforts that fall under the ICB umbrella, and we want to thank you for joining us for taking part in an informative 2 days that is designed to strengthen your institutions by strengthening each of you individually as professionals. So I want to start out by thanking our longtime partner and sponsor in ICB, Walmart Foundation. Over the past decade, Walmart Foundation has granted more than $4 million in support to UNCF to support our capacity building efforts. I also want to thank General Motors, who contributed substantially to this institute. GM has been a longtime board member and partner of UNCF and has recently targeted some of its financial support to ICB, so we want to thank them as well for making this gathering possible. So I want to talk a little bit about ICB here, and over the last 11 years or so, ICB has provided more than $24 million in grants, technical assistance, consultative services, and professional development opportunities to its member institutions, allowing us to build member institution capacity in a number of functional areas, most specifically enrollment management, institutional advancement, accreditation reaffirmation preparation, and now data management and analytics. Now, we know that and I'll talk a little bit about ICB's importance to HBCUs here shortly, and we know that, but I want to talk a little bit about its importance to HBCUs in general. And we know that HBCUs have been in the news a lot lately, and too often not for the right reasons. Governance leadership clashes, financial shortfalls, and accreditation sanctions seem to be all you hear in the news about HBCUs. However, we know that these institutions have outsized impacts given their historical support that they have received from public sources as well as private sources. HBCUs comprise, and these are what we call at UNCF our trilogy statistics. They comprise 3% of all higher education institutions, yet they enroll approximately 10% of all students pursuing African-American students pursuing bachelor's degrees, and award 18%, we often say close to 20%, of all bachelor's degrees awarded to African-American students in this country. And if you add another stat, they award 24%, almost a quarter, of the STEM bachelor's degrees awarded to African-American students in this country. This outsized impact, given the limited resources that HBCUs have to help the students who need the most assistance be successful, could be more significant if the institutional capacity at HBCUs was stronger, especially given their history of being inadequately resourced. And this is where ICB comes in. It is more imperative than ever that we have stronger and more viable HBCUs. During this time when African American students feel under assault at predominantly white institutions and are looking for safe spaces to pursue their post-secondary degrees, and when educational achievement gaps between African American students and other demographic groups stubbornly persist at every level of education, K through 12, post-secondary, and that have meaningful and lasting impacts beyond college, the need to strengthen our HBCUs is even more important. I reject the current narrative, the deficit narrative that we find in the media today often about HBCUs, in that if these institutions had not existed prior to the last 50 years, we would have found a reason to create them because they have such an outsized impact in educating students who need the most support in this country. ICB has been at the forefront of strengthening our HBCUs, and this institute continues a decades-old tradition of that. So over the next couple of days, you'll be exposed to national best practices around the use of data understanding the role of data in accreditation efforts, and leveraging data to inform institutional fundraising efforts. We are part of a larger team of HBCU advocates, professionals, stakeholders, and hard workers, so please feel free to ask questions, probe deeper, provide constructive feedback. I reemphasize the word constructive. That will help us make this a stronger activity as we move forward over the next couple of days, and that as we continue to try to strengthen ICB's work with our UNCF member institutions. So I want to briefly do something now, and behind me, coming after me, will be Dr. Sherry Turner, who will provide a lot of logistic work information that will be informative for everyone. But I want to do a little bit of a roll call to see who's in the room. Now, I won't do this in alphabetical order, so this is a little bit of a random sense, but I want to see who's in the room, get people a little charged up. So is Fisk University here? Yes. We got a representative from Fisk. Is Spelman College here? Yes. Okay, Spelman's in the room. Is Tuskegee here? Okay, no Tuskegee. Let me make a note of that. Is Xavier in the room? Okay, we've got Zula in the room. Is Morehouse here? Yes. Okay, we got a couple of reps from Morehouse. CAU. Okay, Clark Atlanta is represented. Is Johnson C. Smith here? Okay. They're hyped from Charlotte. Is Oakwood University here? Okay, we got a couple of people from Oakwood. Is Tougaloo in the room? Well, I know Tougaloo's here because I talked to Gloria earlier. Is Claflin University here? Yes, we are. Okay. Claflin is represented. I'm from South Carolina, so that makes me feel good. Is Dillard University here? Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah, Yolanda. Hey, okay. It's just you, okay. As long as we got you in the room, we're all good to move forward. Is Benedict College here? Yeah, I won't say anything about that little woo-woo over there. But Benedict is represented in the room in two ways. Bethune-Cookman. Okay, no Bethune-Cookman. Not yet, okay. Philander. You know it. Okay, okay. Arkansas in the house. Is Rust College here? I know Rust is here. Okay. Wilberforce. I know Wilberforce is in the room as well. Okay. Virginia Union. We got Richmond represented. Okay. Florida Memorial. Okay, Florida Memorial's over here in the corner. Okay, we got Florida Memorial at a couple of tables. Lane College. I thought I heard Logan Hampton. Okay. Lane is represented. Miles College. Okay, B. Ham. Bennett College for Women. Okay, Bennett is in the house as well. Stillman. Okay, Stillman is represented. Houston Tillotson. Okay, folks here from Austin. All right, you are our furthest west campus, so thank you for making the trek over this way. Morris College. Yes, sir. Okay, South Carolina in the house. Is St. Aug here? They hadn't made it from Raleigh yet. Okay. Lemoyne Owen. Okay, yes. We got Lemoyne Owen with leadership here. Voorhees. Okay. I'm from the low country of South Carolina, so I'm glad that Voorhees is in the house too. Talladega. Okay, Talladega's in the house. Payne College. PC one time. Okay. You go, Alice. I appreciate you. Shaw University. Oh, that's right, Shaw U. Wiley College. Wiley College, Mr. President. Wiley's in the house, representing hard. Allen University. Okay, Allen, my South Carolina peeps. Jarvis Christian. Okay, all the way from Texas. And Livingstone. Okay, the Blue Bears, they're back there in the room. Texas College. Okay, those Texas folks aren't here yet. But, and last but certainly not least, Edward Waters College, folks from Jacksonville. Is Edward Waters in the house? Okay, we got most of our institutions represented, and we know that people will be trickling in over the next few hours, but I am glad to see so many of our institutions represented, and we encourage you to interact with each other, make some new connections, learn from each other, and definitely make sure to continue to build the HBCU and UNCF network and family of professionals as we meet together over the next couple of days. Now, I want to acknowledge a couple of folks in the room. We have our CEO, Michael Lomax, is not here yet. I know he's on the way and will probably slip in a little bit here. But our Chief Operating Officer, Early Reese, is in the room. There's Early. And I want to greet and acknowledge our ICB Advisory Board. We have an advisory board of member presidents and a very, very knowledgeable non-president who has been guiding ICB in a very instructive way over the last couple of years, and we really appreciate their insights. They tell us when we're going in the wrong direction and give us a lot of insights when we're going in the right direction. So I want to start out by acknowledging Haywood Strickland from Wiley College. Rosalind Clark Artis from Florida Memorial University. Logan Hampton from Lane College. David Beckley from Rust. And Andrea Lewis Miller from Lemoyne-Owen. Those are presidential members of the advisory committee, and the very important non-presidential member, Murtis Dunn Green from Lawson Community College. And if anyone has even come close to an accreditation meeting on your campus over the last several years, you know Murtis, who is deeply immersed in SACS and the work that we do with ICB in helping our institutions be ready for accreditation reaffirmation. We also have a couple of other presidents in the room. I want to acknowledge Dr. Tashni Dubroy from Shaw University, and Dr. Herman Felton from Wilberforce University. I don't think, is Dr. Hawkins here yet? I don't think. Okay. Any other presidents in the room that I'm missing? Well, we acknowledge Dr. Beckley for the advisory committee, so just want to make sure that we get everyone acknowledged. You know, we're like a black church. We have to make sure that we acknowledge everyone in the room. And more than anything else, certainly last but not least, I want to acknowledge the ICB team who pulled this together. So I head up our institutional capacity building work, but none of this work is possible without a team. And we just had, under the ICB umbrella, is this work, which we call Institutional Support Services, but also our Career Pathways Initiative, which had their very successful convening a couple of weeks ago. And that work is led by Ed Smith-Lewis. But this work is on a different track under the ICB umbrella. And so I want to thank and acknowledge the team that has pulled this all together, starting with Dr. Sherry Turner, who you will hear from immediately after I get off the stage. Darrell Ann Watkins. Many of you know Darrell Ann as our person who handles a lot of our logistics under Sherry's leadership. Dr. Latoya Owens, who brings a new rigor as our Senior Manager of Assessment. And I want to make sure that Isidra McGlone, who is part of the ICB team as well, Isidra is at the registration table. So please give them all a large round of applause, because they are the ones who made all of this possible. So without further ado, I don't want to be the person between you and lunch, and I know that you are ready to move the program along. I will be around the rest of the day and tomorrow as well. Please feel free to stop any of us who have the staff. Oh, I don't have my badge on. If you see that green staff ribbon, yeah, that's what it is, hanging from the badges, please don't hesitate to stop and ask any of us for any information. It is the middle of July, and it's actually hotter in DC where I live than it is down here now. But as my Florida cousins like to say, it's hotter than fish grease this time of year. So I'm going to take off my tie a little bit later on. I want people to feel comfortable and relaxed and understand that this is an environment where we are all approachable, and understand that we don't want to be stuffy and come off that way. So please feel free to allow yourselves to relax a little bit. take in the wise words of our speakers, and learn, but also have a little bit of fun as well. So, without